Hello, everyone. It's Phil Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is Tuesday, the 24th of January, 2023. Click on the subscribe button to subscribe to future episodes, and then also the notification bell in the far upper right to be notified when those episodes are released. Today's topic is, were 95% of Americans farmers in 1860? This is something that some opponents of Confederate memorials have claimed. So let me get into it. In order to promote the viewpoint that slavery was the dominant cause of the Civil War, thereby justifying the destruction of Confederate memorials, Professor Ed Ayres and quondam West Point professor Siedule argue that regional economic differences between in the North and the South were unimportant. Both cite as evidence that in 1860, quote, 95% of Northerners lived on farms, close quote, which was not significantly smaller than the percentage of Southerners. In contrast, the National Park Service reports that 84% of 84% of Southerners in 1864 worked farms, and as compared to only 40% for Northerners. Similarly, Park Service historians report that Northerners were 2.5 times more likely to live in urban areas as were Southerners. Now, when the percentages for one side are more than double the percentages for the other, it is hard to believe that regional economic differences were immaterial. By 1860, 90% of the nation's manufacturing output came from northern states. The North produced 17 times more cotton and woolen textile cloth than the South, 30 times more leather goods, 20 times more pig iron, and 32 times more firearms. Thus, the North produced 3,200 firearms for every 100 produced in the South. If the Park Service statistics are valid, and I see no reason to doubt them, it seems likely that the major economic differences between North and South in 1860 were significant factors in Civil War causation. In short, Northerners did not want to lose the Southern markets to better quality and less expensive European imports, as was almost certain to happen given a low tariff Confederacy on the southern border of the truncated United States. The noble sounding mantra to, quote, preserve the Union, close quote, was really all about preserving the North's economic prosperity by holding the southern markets captive to northern suppliers via high protective or deterrence tariffs. Contrary to popular belief, it was the North that went to war over tariffs, not the South. That is why the rate on dutiable items increased from 19% on the eve of the Civil War in 1860 to an average of 45% for the next 50 years. Let me repeat that. Before the war, 19% dutiable items tariff. After the war, or after the war began, 45% for the next 50 years. That's significant. Okay. I also want to share with you this, which is my latest book, Firepower. Now, this book is a novel, and it addresses the kind of riddle that exists historically as to why repeating rifles were only slowly deployed into the Union armies. They really didn't get much wide distribution until the final year of the war, even though they were obviously superior in terms of firepower. So what we're addressing here is the riddle of why they were. And since it's not fully explained, there's an opportunity for an investigation into this and some connecting of the dots. And that's what I've done. I think all but 2 characters in this novel were actual historical figures that I've researched. And what I've done is shown that the Confederate Secret Service learned some facts pertinent to the deployment of these weapons that was not disinformation. They learned concrete, true information, which they could use to force the gatekeeper in the Union Ordnance Bureau to drag his feet in terms of implementing repeating rifles into the Union armies. So that's what this is about. And it's available now on Kindle for $2.99. And within 2 weeks, I'm going to have a paperback version of it available. So I urge you to take a look at it and give it a buy if you think it's of interest to you. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, thanks for watching.